Today, I'm going to share with you two stories of failure that I've experienced when I was at the very beginning of my career. So if you want to hear these stories, well, stay tuned and watch. This is Alexandra Villarroel Abrego, and welcome back to another Alexandra TV episode. We are still on the road. We are still doing the Full Feminine Power Now World Tour, and today we are in the beautiful city of Dallas, Texas. We are right now in a beautiful place called the Dallas Heritage Village, which is very particular because it's in the middle of the city of Dallas City, and it's this village where everything is just like it was 100 years ago. So everything is intact. As you can see, the house behind me is over 100 years old. Everything inside, it's still the way that it was back then, and it's this beautiful Western type of village, and I love it because I love everything that is old. I love antiques. I love this kind of old vibe and feeling. So to me, here, it's like paradise. The reason why I wanted to make today's episode is because just a few months ago, I was given a talk at my friend's event. And when she introduced me to the audience, she said, Alexandra is a manifesting coach. She's like, because everything that she does turns into gold. Like everything that she decides to do, like happens. And her and another friend of mine who was in the audience, she said, yeah, that's true. Every time that we talk about what she does, we're like, how did she even do that? Like, how does she succeed at whatever she does? And I remember when they said that, in my head, I was like, you have no idea the times that I've tried to do something and it didn't work out. And that's when I realized, I said, you know, I've never shared these stories with people. You know, very often, especially here on Alexandra TV, I've never shared the times when I failed tremendously and miserably, which is why I wanted to share with you two stories of failure that I've experienced at the very beginning of my career. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that these were the only two times that I failed in my career. To the contrary, you know, I failed many, many times, but I felt like if I was going to share with you all of my stories of failure, this would be like a 5-hour-long Alexandra TV episode, and we don't want that, right? But if you want to know about my other failures, if you would like for me to share with you the many other times that I failed, leave a comment down below saying we want to know about your other failures, and I will make sure to make another Alexandra TV episode about some of my other failures. So let's begin with my first story of failure. This was back in 2009, 2010. I don't recall exactly the year, but I remember I was just starting off, right? So I just started being a coach, a life coach. I just started giving conferences in schools. I remember I just finished writing my book, Beyond Beauty, and that's when I heard about this great opportunity. I remember it was online and I saw that there was this opportunity to become a columnist for Cosmopolitan website. So it wasn't for the magazine, right? It was for the website, and you would become like a Cosmopolitan blogger. And I remember at the time, like I think a lot of people who are starting off their careers, you kind of have that idea in your mind that someone's going to discover you. And I think it's because of the movies, right, of Hollywood. You know, there's always these very glamorous stories about someone who's trying to make it, and then someone discovers them, and then, you know, they blow up at that time and everything starts to happen. And I remember for me, when I saw that opportunity, I was 19 or 20 years old at the time, I was like, this is for me. This is it. This is my big break, and it's going to happen. And I remember it was like kind of a contest that they were doing, and you would have to film a video of yourself, introducing yourself and what was going to be your topic on Cosmopolitan website, and then you would send them the video, they would put it online, and then it was by voting, you know, so the person who would get the most votes would win. Now what happened is, of course, I did not get enough votes. I was just starting off, so I didn't have the amazing and beautiful audience that I have today, so not a lot of people voted for me, and I didn't get that break and that opportunity, and I was devastated because I was like, this was my big break, and I missed out on my big break, and there will no longer be any big breaks. But then what happened is that a few months later, I get another opportunity. And this was the second story of failure that I've experienced. I remember it was at the end of 2010, and I was 20 years old at the time, and I heard about this audition that was going on for the Marilyn Dennis Show, which was a talk show that was just starting off in Canada. And the audition was happening in Toronto, and it was to become an expert on her show. So they were looking for experts throughout Canada who would come and talk about a specific topic that they were experts in. And for me, I felt at the time, at 20 years old, that I was an expert in self-confidence and self-love. So what I did is, with the little money that I had at the time, I booked my ticket, my train ticket, to go to Toronto. I remember the audition was at 5 in the morning, so I woke up at like 3 in the morning. I went and waited on the line because there was this big line like around the building of experts coming from throughout Canada, and I think even from United States, who were coming for the audition. And I waited for hours outside in the cold with my coffee. I think it was the month of November of 2010. And finally, I get there to do the audition. And then I remember the guy who was filming was asking me questions. And he asks me the question, so how can you love yourself? And I completely froze. I remember he asked me that, and everything in my brain went blank, and I didn't know what to say. And I was there, the expert on self-love and confidence, looking at the camera and at him, and I was like, well, to love yourself, you have to you just love yourself. Like, you know, you have to just love yourself. And I had no idea what I was saying, and I could see in his face he was like, I'm sorry, because he felt bad, right, that he asked me the question and that I didn't know what to answer. And I left there, and I knew very well that I didn't get the part, right, that I wasn't going to be an expert. I still waited, though. I still had hope. I remember I still waited for the call, for an email. Nothing came. I remember I was devastated at the time. I felt like I missed out on the 2 big breaks of my life, and I felt like I was never going to get any other opportunities after that, and that I was just not good, you know, not good enough. And I felt like maybe I'm just not made for this, and maybe I just don't have what it takes. Now, of course, today, as I look back 8 years later, I realized that, thank God, you know, that didn't happen. Because if that would have happened, if that I would have got the part at the Marilyn Dennis show or became a blogger for Cosmopolitan TV, I really don't think that I would be here right now in Dallas on tour, you know, going from city to city. I don't think I would have the audience that I have today on YouTube, because I would probably have put all my focus on the Marilyn Dennis show or on being a blogger for Cosmopolitan TV. So I would have just like completely neglected YouTube. So I realized today that it's never rejection, it's protection. So remember, whatever failure you might experience in your career or even in your personal life, just remember that everything is perfectly orchestrated. And you know, now whenever I have a failure, or you know, experience a failure, I don't even call it a failure, because today I understand, because of all these experiences of failing, I realize that it's just the universe telling me, no, this is not for you. I have something better for you, something better in store. So you just have to have faith and trust the universe and know that everything truly, really happens for a reason. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to like it, don't forget to share it with all of your friends, and of course to subscribe for new episodes every single week. You can also go on my website, alexandravillarroel.com, and subscribe to my email list, because if you do, I will be sending over your way a 4-part video training series that will teach you how to take your personal and professional life to the next level. Also, and last thing, in the comment section down below, let me know what are some of your failures, because I'm sure that it will inspire all the people that are watching this video, you know, just to realize that you're not the only one who fails in life. We all go through failures, which, like I said, are just there to direct us to the things that are for us, right? To better and greater things. So that's it for today, and I'll see you next week.